But I've been around athletes a long time, just like you. Bo seems like the kind of guy that hates to lose more than he loves to win. Would that describe him in a way?
Maybe. I think that the passion for winning always is the deciding factor there. But hating to lose gets you ready to win.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Are the J. Woodcroft Oilers for real? No, I don't think they're for real. 53% of respondents saying no, they're not for real, and that included me. I said no, they're not. Firing Dave Tippett is all it took. Wave a wand. Bob's your uncle, and the Oilers are now Stanley Cup contenders. I say no. This is the traditional new coach bump, the new coach spike. We see it with everybody. Hey, how's the Vancouver Canucks doing lately under Gabby?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Yes, it is. Hello, Canada and Canadian sports fans around the world. Welcome to the RP Show. We're coming to you live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino in lovely Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It is Calgary's entertainment destination. And, hey, Darren Moose Dupont, dare I say, North America's entertainment destination for at least the very next 2 hours here as we bring you sports talk across YouTube Live. I've been informed we're not on Game Plus television today, so for those of you that are looking forward and tweeting at me, please don't adjust your sets. Just come join us on YouTube Live. Come on down to YouTube because we got the smoke, Moose.
This place is humming, man. And I'm walking in this morning. I don't know if you saw it, but I noticed some of these different things. And when I'm walking down the hallway from the hotel, the resort area, over to the event center, new poster up. And Foxworthy's coming Air Supply.
Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan, you noticed, in September.
I'm a big Tracy Morgan fan.
Incredibly excited for that.
September 28th.
Oh, you got the date.
Yeah. I noticed. So I'm big on dates. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm continuing to be happy and bubbly. I'm telling you that it's a carryover from Tuesday night's Flames game and the good vibes there. And we're rolling all the way into this Thursday. It's episode number 699. And now might be the best time to tell you before we go any further that Friday's episode is the 700th episode of the RP Show here at Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. We'll have a live studio audience. Doors open 9:30. I saw somewhere that it said 9. Might as well make it 9:30.
I think 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30 here at the Event Center. Don't be fooled if you're coming on down. We're going to have live guests, Stampeders alumni, Rough Riders alumni. It's just going to be fantastic. And who else, I don't know. It's just going to be a big time. Coming up today on the program, Kelly Hrudey will be joining us live here in hour 2 right at the Event Center. And who was hour 1 again? I never wrote it down after our morning meeting.
AJ Galante from the Danbury Trashers.
The owner.
Yes.
Okay.
And apparently they've got news.
Yes, from Netflix fame, AJ Galante. Thank you, the owner of that former minor pro hockey club in New Jersey. So, yeah, that's very interesting. Can we hit the quick six show horn, please, Director Jordan? Okay, we got a lot of things to get to today, so let's go. Marie-Philippe Poulin is calling it redemption. The Canadian captain led her side to a 3-2 victory over the United States in women's hockey at the Beijing Games. The 30-year-old from Beauceville, Quebec, has scored in 4 consecutive Olympic hockey finals. Canada reclaimed gold after losing 3-2 in a shootout to the Americans 4 years ago in Pyeongchang, South Korea. I don't know how much we're going to sit and dissect this game. Canada won gold. Are we good enough to move on? I expected that we would. It's Canada. Canada went up 3-0, and I was out. I'm like, we got this. And then I find out it was a far closer game than that. It ended up 3-2, as I just read. And I've got other Olympic sports to get to. Do you have a take on that? Because what I'm hearing from everybody is that the referees tried to even the game up and did, but Canada held on to win.
That happened, yeah, sure, made it 3-2. The only thing I'll say is Canada played great. And for Marie-Philippe Poulin, I'm hearing this word, Sean McVay had it, others, competitive greatness. Right?
Okay.
And competitive greatness is playing at your best when your best is needed.
I like that.
That's Marie-Philippe Poulin.
Who was he referring to? Aaron Donald?
Maybe, or just saying we need to have competitive greatness. It's about bringing your best when your best is needed. And she does that, 4 straight finals, and leading Canada to a gold. That's amazing.
Well, now my mind's racing. I love that term. I love it when people rise to the occasion. I don't think Sean McVay has the trademark on this, but rising to the when the pressure is at its highest and facing adversity, yeah, I like it.
Good.
The men's hockey team did not, which... Okay, let me read a couple more Olympic things, and we'll come back to that. Canada in men's curling is leaving Beijing without a gold medal. Brad Gushue will have to settle for playing for bronze after his men's rink lost to Sweden 5-3 in the semis. The Canadians will meet the Americans in the Olympic consolation game on Friday. Meanwhile, Jennifer Jones is out of the running for a medal at all after crashing out of the women's curling tournament despite winning her final round-robin match 10-5 over Denmark. JJ's Canadian rink finished tied with Britain and Japan with a 5-4 record, but missed the medal round due to poor draw shot challenge numbers. So I'm seeing the outpouring on social media, and people are saying, tragic for Jennifer Jones and this and that. Well, she was 5-4 and tied with two other teams. You should have been 6-3. So I guess that's the thing where I will really stick to the culture of hockey and football because that's what I know best. I don't get baseball culture. I don't really get curling culture. If you missed by a whisker and you tied with two other teams, don't say, oh, fate didn't allow me. You could have won another game to go to 6-3 and make the playoffs. I'm sorry. That's my take on that. The other thing, I ran 4 miles today, Darren. I know that for people that are fit, that's not a lot. For people that aren't, that is a lot. And I'm running on the treadmill today, and I'm trying to watch the Gushue game. Yeah. And the power of Twitter, by the way, because I was looking at Twitter, and I saw our friend Devin Hrudey saying, Gushue's got hammer coming home in the 10th end, down 1 to Sweden. I'm like, I got to get over to that channel.
Right.
And I find it. And it was a mind screw. Because Sweden had red rocks and Canada had yellow rocks.
Ooh.
Can we not color coordinate here? Do you get what I'm saying?
I do.
Can we not have red rocks for Canada and yellow rocks for Sweden? It would be so much more simple for, like, I'm not a dumb guy, but it took me 10 minutes to figure it out.
I know.
And then they lost. So anyways, the poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center with dealerships across the prairies is, how do you feel about Canada's performance so far at the Beijing Olympics? Your options are great, satisfied, not satisfied, or meh. So if we can put the camera back on the moose, you go ahead. You go first with how you would vote in the poll. Me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you were at coming up with the questions. And I'm like, I think you need to shrug shoulders. Like a meh. Because that's kind of how I feel about it. I'm like, it's the Winter Olympics. And I'm still in 2010 mode, own the podium, right? Where we destroyed everybody.
Right.
I'm still in that mode. And whenever we go to the Olympics, the Winter Games, I expect us to be at or near the top of the medal standing. And we're not. So that for me, I'm like, but we've had a lot of great individual accomplishments. Charles Hamlin winning his last thing. And, we've had some snowboard medals with Max Perot and Mark McMorris. And the women gold, that's all great. But for curling not to get in a medal is a massive disappointment. Men's hockey, disappointment. So there has been a little bit of that. So I'm kind of like shrug shoulder.
I will say satisfied, and here's why. You're not big on opinions, right? You don't really like to give an opinion.
Right.
You're kind of middle of the road. We've discussed that.
Yes.
I don't mind giving opinions, right? Hence the name of the show. And if I offend people, I don't really care. So I'm satisfied. I went back and looked at Pyeongchang's numbers, the medal numbers. It's going to sound really bad given the amount of time that I've been spending in America. As long as we beat the USA, I'm good.
Yeah.
And in Pyeongchang, we did. Like Norway won with 39 medals then. What is with Norway, by the way? You know that they're very technologically advanced. It's time we start giving Norway their due.
Right.
As a world superpower. They won the medal count then. I think they're leading it now. Canada had 29 medals in Pyeongchang, USA 23. And we're ahead of USA this year. So Bob's your uncle.
That's a win.
Well, I think so.
Yeah.
So that's my take there. So that's our Olympic opening preamble. So we're getting into it. Yeah, how about that? NHL one-timers, let's go. Point 2. Mark Scheifele recorded the 5th hat trick of his career and added a helper to propel the Winnipeg Jets to a 6-3 victory over the Minnesota Wild on Wednesday. His trio of goals gave him 7 goals and 4 helpers in 5 games since the NHL All-Star break. Jets captain Blake Wheeler collected 4 assists. Cole Perfetti, Mum Spaghetti, had a goal and an assist, with Kyle Connor and Stastny also scoring for the Jets, who had 12,527 fans at Canada Life Centre. That's about 3,000 short of a sellout. Connor Hellebuck made 33 saves for Winnipeg, which was playing the second game of a 4-game homestand. The Jets have won 4 of their last 7 games, and I don't think you, Moose, saw much of that game. Am I right in saying Winnipeg, Minnesota? Okay, well, that's fine, because I watched quite a bit of it. And then this morning I watched the replay of it. I'll be sorry, but the curling, they took a timeout in the 10th end, Sweden. I'm like, this is slow enough without taking a timeout. I switched over to another Sportsnet channel, and they were replaying the Jets' Wild game.
Yeah.
So what? The Jets aren't the same team. They just aren't what we're used to. They are not playing with passion. So I don't know what it's going to take. That's my edict today on the Winnipeg Jets. I think they're done. Stick a fork in them. Meanwhile, here in Calgary, and by the way, I didn't go to the Flames game last night because I was hosting another television show last night in a completely unrelated industry or field. I was doing that. Elias Lindholm scored twice and added an assist Wednesday night to extend his goal streak to 6 games, and the red-hot Calgary Flames spanked the Anaheim Ducks 6-2 for their 8th straight win. For the Pacific Division leading Flames, it's their longest win streak since 2017 when they rattled off 10 straight, a club record. Dylan Dubé, Andrew Mangiapane, Johnny Gaudreau into an empty net, and Matthew Tkachuk also scored for Calgary. The Flames continue their roll on home ice on Saturday when they welcome Seattle and Mark Giordano. And I'm going to be in Red Deer calling the Winnipeg Ice game with Munsey, so I'm not going to be there at that game, but you can't be everywhere. Bane of my existence, you can't be in 2 places at once. Only 2 other games in the NHL last night in Raleigh. Sam Reinhart tied it in the final minute of regulation. Then Aaron Ekblad got free for a breakaway goal just 16 seconds into overtime to give the Florida Panthers a 3-2 victory over the Carolina Hurricanes. And in Vegas, Gabriel Landeskog broke a scoreless tie. Early in the third, Darcy Kemper stopped 29 shots, and the Colorado Avalanche defeated the Vegas Golden Knights 2-0. Colorado's victory spoiled the long-awaited debut of Jack Eichel, who was in action for the first time since being acquired from Buffalo and becoming the first NHL player to play after having artificial disc replacement surgery on his neck in November. So that's what went on in the NHL last night. It's 11-11 in the motherland, just so you know, Moose. Be aware of your thoughts. The opportunity portal is opening. Okay, let's go to the NHL top 5, bottom 5. This is still part of point 2, but here we go. Are you ready? Boys, I think they have it. Hey, I like it. Top 5, bottom. The number 1 team in the RP show, top 5, bottom 5, is the Florida Panthers. They still are. They posted the win last night at Carolina. Their 71 points are the most in the NHL's toughest conference. Number 2, the Colorado Avalanche, obviously. They're 74 points top the West, also the entire NHL. They had points in 19 straight games. Number 3, the Carolina Hurricanes. You just can't ignore them. Their .723 winning percentage is second best in all of the Eastern Conference. Number 4, the Calgary Flames. 8 wins in a row are 8 wins in a row. And number 5, Tampa Bay, the most balanced team in the National Hockey League. That's the good news. Now to the bad news. The bottom 5 in the National Hockey League. Number 28. The Chicago Blackhawks. Deal the flower now. Number 29, Seattle. They are who we thought they were. Number 30, the New Jersey Devils appearing in our bottom 5. Congratulations. 2 wins in their past 10. Next to worst in the Met division. Number 31, the Arizona Coyotes. How's the 5-year rebuild coming? And number 32, the Montreal Canadiens. Their 23 points are worst in the NHL. They're minus 85.
Oh, no.
In plus minus. And they're getting worse. I'm so sorry, Montreal. It was a great run last year. This is something. That's the top 5, bottom 5. So you got it. You got it right in front of you, Moose. Your take on that?
Montreal's going to be here early March. We'll get to see the Montreal Canadiens very early in March, the 3rd, I think.
Why do you want
to? So maybe we can give Montreal fans some hope for the future. At least with Ottawa, when they were so bad, we looked at Stützle and we looked at some of the young players and we're like, this team's got a bright future. I don't know if the Canadians' future is that bright, right? Where is this coming from? I'd like to get a better look at them, but that's tough. Like, that is a massive fall to go from the Stanley Cup final to the worst team in the NHL. That's tough for that.
Nobody saw it coming.
And
then Martin St. Louis. Who's laughing now?
I know.
Claude Julien. Well, for sure, Dominic Ducharme. I mean, got to the Stanley Cup final after they fired Julien last year. Hire Patrick Waugh. They can't.
Can't now.
They already well, you could hire him as coach.
Yeah.
Anyways, in the dub, let's go there. Wednesday night, the Kamloops Blazers outgunned the Victoria Royals on their way to a 6-4 win Wednesday night. The Blazers outshot Victoria in every single period. Here in Calgary, Maximus Warner scored the game winner as the Moose Jaw Warriors beat the Hitmen 3-2. In Medicine Hat, Chad Nychuk scored twice as the Wheat Kings won their second straight, 4-1 over Medicine Hat. Teague Patton also scored for the Tigers. And in Kelowna, Carter McAdams scored a hat trick as the Prince George Cougars coasted to a 5-2 win over the Rockets. A lot of hockey, a lot of Olympics so far in the warm-up here on the RP show. I think we're going to pause and come back with more, and that includes some NFL talk and what's the latest on the Brian Flores lawsuit. I didn't feel like we got into it as much as I would have liked to yesterday, Darren, from what I've seen with the NFL. I did a quick Google search. The two top news items in the NFL right now are the Brian Flores lawsuit and the Alvin Kamara assault case coming out of Vegas. So just so you know, folks, the NFL has bad news too, and I feel like they don't run away from it. I also want to talk about the Calgary Stampeders signing Jordan Williams-Lambert here because it has caused a lot of waves back in the homeland. We'll talk about CFL free agency and then other Olympic chatter. I just want to tell you that the rock star of the day, Wednesday, was Stampeders general manager John Huffnagel. Pay attention today because there will be a test for the rock star of the day, Kelly Hrudey, AJ Galante. Those will be your options. We'll be right back with more of the warm-up you're watching on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital GMC for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or reserve a unit that's already on its way. Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital GMC in Regina.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Hey, the giraffes are still hanging around. That jingle's catchy. How do you raise a hippo with a forklift? I can't take credit for that one. That was from Ryan in Saratoga, New York. Thanks for the reminder, though, I have just opened up the text line, 902-518-3033. Pick up the phone and text RP. Rod Pedersen. Did you think, because Darren was in charge of that, did you ever think of writing her back and going, you said it wrong, hun?
No, I liked it so much. I'm like, we're going to roll with this. As long as he didn't spell it wrong, I'm cool.
Yeah, right. So we'll get back on point in a second. People tune in because it's the Rod Pedersen Show. It's not just daytime sports talk, it's daytime talk, and we're going to have some of these stars on the show coming up. We're in what's called the guitar room here at the Grey Eagle Event Center. I really thank Corey. She said, the house operations manager, Corey said, we really enjoy having you guys here. And I said, well, we really enjoy being here. And I enjoy just roaming around and looking around. And I discovered the green rooms this morning. There's 3 of them where the stars come and get ready for their shows. And I'm taking pictures. It's just cool. We love being here. I would have liked to have been at the Flames game last night, but I couldn't. As I said, I was hosting another television show in another industry. But I guess you can't be everywhere, like I said. Tonight, I'm hoping to maybe go out to Canmore and watch some Junior A hockey. With the Eagles, they got Drumheller in town. You've got a full dance card today, you're off the radar.
That's right.
So, yeah, if the invitation still stands, the guy that asked me to go, the guy's in and out. He's like a comet.
You just hope
you want to go? Then I don't hear from him for 2 days. So that's what I would like to do.
But then he'll be here at 5 o'clock. I'm picking you up.
Right.
What?
Fortunately, I won't be doing anything else. So, yeah, I'll be ready to go. So, anyways, before we pick up with some of the football talk, and I appreciate you joining us today, as I always do. Craig in Calgary, watching on YouTube. He says, I hope all of the peeps cheering for the Hockey Gold now go out and buy tickets to the next Pro Women's Hockey Players Association tournament and whatever new league arises. The exact same players playing these athletes need to be supported more than once every 4 years. And I get what he's saying, for sure. But I used to say with the World Juniors, okay, y'all got excited about that, and 18,000 filled Air Canada Center to watch, Domi and McDavid and that team. Now go buy your junior hockey tickets after. You filled Ottawa's rink to watch Eberle and Tuber. Now come fill the Agrodome to come watch the Pats. They don't. So it's not just a women's thing. It's a what's hot now thing.
Right.
Right? I appreciate him saying that. I've been saying that all along too, but people aren't going to do it.
No, it is. It's about what's hot. You have to capture people's attention. You can't say, look, you watch it, now come watch the Pats. That's asking for charity, right? It's like, oh, you should support these guys. And it's just like people do what they want to do. You have to give people a real reason to do it, right? So promote your next stars, right? Promote the players, promote the people, and give reason to people to get out of their house.
Maybe they'll go.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing about this city, I said it the last time we were here, and now I see it and feel it more and more and more. What an unbelievable sports city Calgary is. I mean, you can watch high-level women's hockey. You can watch Junior A. Now we've got the teams reaching out saying, will you come to our games? And I'm thinking, yeah, I think I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
So next week, we're going to go to the university playoff game. Mm-hmm. Junior A, as I mentioned. I'm going up to Red Deer on the weekend. I like it. And for those that wonder why we're here, it's a business decision. Wayne, watching in Victoria, BC, he says, Rod, I just realized what you said when you said you give your opinion and don't care if you offend anyone. I like that, as nowadays that's not acceptable to the PC crowd. I know, and I'm not sitting there rubbing it in anybody's face, but, Darren and I were talking this morning after our morning meeting. There are people that have written me and said, well, I know you hate the CFL, Rod, but ... Nope. Love it. Loved it since I was a kid. Been working in it since 1991. I love it. But just because I don't love it the way you want me to love it, you think I hate it. That's wrong. So, again, we're going to do what we're going to do. And just because people don't like it, we're not going to change how we do things. That's kind of what we're saying, Wayne, with stuff. Because we love the CFL. I honestly can't wait. That interview with Huff yesterday revved me for this season. And even he pumped his fist in the air. He's like, let's go. But it's still 4 months till something serious goes on.
Yeah, but it got us so exciting that we started thinking about, all these other things we're going to do. And it gets us excited for the season and, making plans for the year and for Grey Cup and all these fun things. And it's incredibly exciting.
Randy in the Peg writes in and he says, between China hosting ROC cheating and corruption in IOC, I didn't watch much Olympics. Enjoyed the skiing and snowboarding. Oh boy, we're really going down the rabbit hole of what I didn't want to today, and we could. I'm going to bring it back out of the ditch in a second and talk about that football stuff that I wanted to. Here's the thing. Every league has their problems, and none of them want to talk about their problems. You just brought up all the problems with the Olympics, but if you didn't know about that stuff, or you could sit and enjoy and watch ad nauseum. Yeah. One thing I've realized is when I was a child, I used to sit and watch the figure skating at the Olympics for hours. There wasn't curling in the Olympics then, so I didn't watch that. I watched the biathlon. I watched the bobsledding. I watched it all. And I can't do that anymore. Something's happened to my brain and adult life that it's made me a squirrel. I wasn't a squirrel as a kid. I could sit and watch all that stuff. Maybe it's because there's too many options out there.
That's part of it.
I don't know why. I guess I knew that I could change the channel and get something else that would feed my adrenaline. But I've changed since when I was a kid for TV watching, Olympics watching appetite. How's that?
Yeah, no, you do. And you change from TV watching, but you just can't only operate in your own world. Just because you like one thing doesn't mean the rest of the world doesn't like it, right?
Right.
And you and I are good.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you and I are good at that. But that's the same conversation about all-star games and about pre-game shows. I don't watch the pre-game. I don't even see what suits they're wearing. Yeah, but at one point you did. And all the different generations are liking that. So just let them like that, and you tune in for what you want to tune in for, right? There's still a generation that thinks curling is fast enough because they like the slow pace. There's other people who think bobsled's great. I used to like it too, my mind in a bunch of different ways, loving all these different sports. And now, with my interests in other areas, business being one of them, I don't tune in as much as I used to. Yeah.
None of the viewer comments are scintillating me right now, so I'm going to continue with the show topics, okay? To football, point 4. The NFL has hired a law firm that includes former U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch to defend it and its teams in Brian Flores' race discrimination lawsuit. Flores, who is black, was fired as Miami's coach last month despite back-to-back winning seasons. He named the league and 3 teams, the Dolphins, Broncos, and New York Giants, in a class action lawsuit earlier this month alleging unfair hiring practices in the NFL. After the lawsuit was filed, the league said it would defend itself against claims it called without merit The Dolphins, Broncos, and Giants all denied Flores' allegations. There were 9 head coach openings this offseason. 2 went to minorities. Mike McDaniel, who replaced Flores in Miami and is biracial, and Lovie Smith, who is African-American, and replaced David Culley, who is also black. That brought the total of minority head coaches to 5, 3 black. More than 70% of NFL players are black. So again, if you missed it earlier, I was saying just a quick Google search of what's the topic in the NFL right now. It's that and the Alvin Kamara assault case coming out of Las Vegas. Yeah, there's mock drafts and stuff, but that's literally months away. One thing I was thinking about this morning was if our good friend Danny Barrett, who starred with the Calgary Stampeders as a quarterback, is going to be retained on the staff of Lovie Smith. I don't know. DB's the running backs coach with the Houston Texans, has been for a few years now. My guess DB's safe because he's survived a couple of coaching stabs there. But I don't know. Back to that Olympics thing. Every league and organization has its problems. And we in the media, it's like, are we going to focus on the positives, the negatives, or both? I'd like to think we focus on all of them. Mm-hmm. But as the NFL, how is Goodell sitting there? I mean, he's obviously not enjoying that this is going on in front of everybody.
No, of course not. It's something he wants to deal with. And, you have to really play everything because, the hiring practices are interesting. And I've, done that obviously in business. We've had to hire people and we've gone through that interview process. And at some point you have your candidates and let's say you got 10 of them.
Yeah.
You interview the first person, it's okay. You interview the second person, you interview the third person, like, that's our person. Guy, girl, whatever. That's our person. And I got 7 more interviews lined up, but that's our person. And I can't let them get away, so you give them an offer. Unfortunately, you don't get through the rest. Well, the NFL says you must interview at least one candidate, a minority, right? And now what do you got to do? Interview them when you've already made up your mind, right? Now it just becomes pomp and circumstance and just becomes ceremony, right? So I get that. That happens. So the racial thing is really hard to prove because they could have just found their guy.
And you would know that better than me. He's in the hiring world, but I think we have a rather diverse lineup on our staff, and it's a great lineup. And that's, by the way, I have been watching a lot of sports. I've been in my room here at the Grey Eagle a lot. I would like to think that I'm the Elvis Presley of sports talk. I'm not about to shoot holes in the room, right. Going in cabin fever. I quite like it, dare I say. But I'm watching some of these panelists going, I don't care your gender, I don't care your color, I don't care your sexual orientation, but in some cases, I hope that you would know the game. Or a broadcaster. I just feel like a lot of these people just bring on a former player and throw them on, and they have no idea what they're doing. And there's a little bit to be said for being a broadcaster. You know what I mean?
We have these discussions. We're going to get into this. It's good.
We're not for long, though, because we're running out of time.
Right. But you talk about, females officiating. And I try and think about it realistically. I'm like, okay, if I go to a referee's clinic, how many females are going to be in the room, right? Probably not that many. Mm-hmm. We pulled a quick Google search, and if you're trying to represent the population, right, you probably are looking at about 4 coaches in the NFL that should be black. Right, that would be an accurate representation of the population.
Yes,
of the population, right? So that would probably be the number in mind. It's like they probably should have 4, and that would be an accurate representation. Well, they have 1, I think, right? Mike Tomlin is the only one, isn't he?
Well, I just read Lovie Smith is another one now, and Mike McDaniel,
but coming into the season, so
it's coming out of the season,
it's trending into the right direction.
Yeah,
which is kind of where you want to be.
Again, I don't care about your color, sex, sexual orientation, just be good. And I'm not sure that everybody can say that's on network television right now. And then the other thing, before we break and bring in AJ Galante, of the Danbury Trashers, that's all I'll say. He's got some exciting things cooking. Calgary Stampeders yesterday announcing the signing of Jordan Williams-Lambert. Pretty big name receiver in CFL circles, former Division Rookie of the Year in the CFL. Signed with the Chicago Bears. Not back with Saskatchewan, has come to Calgary. People said to me, how come Huff didn't announce that on your show? Huff doesn't do the PR. I think they'd had him signed for some time and just announced it yesterday, and whatever, who cares about that? The reaction's been pretty wild from the Rider Nation. Who cares? We didn't need him anyways. You can't make the lineup. He wasn't going to be part of it. I think a lot of that was sour grapes. I'm excited to watch Jordan Williams-Lambert play for the Calgary Stampeders this year. Let's talk about that. He's a hell of a baller.
Really good. Big body.
Yes.
He's a security
Great hands.
Security blanket. It's all about chemistry. And it's not just chemistry with the other receivers. It's not just chemistry with your quarterback. It's also chemistry with your offensive coordinator, right? And does that system fit your ability, right? We know Jay Will had some success in Saskatchewan, and that's what got him back to the NFL and to the Chicago Bears. So can he get on the same page with Bo Levi? Where does he fit into Calgary? I think that's incredibly exciting to find out we're going to really find out what kind of receiver he is, and it's dangerous, and it sucks for the Rider fans because he's one of the elite receivers in the game. He has that ability. So, yeah, that adds a little drama to the CFL's West. Riders are hosting this Grey Cup, but Calgary's improved, Edmonton's improved, Winnipeg is Winnipeg. This is going to be fun.
Nice analysis, Moose.
How about that?
AJ Galante, star of the Netflix documentary Untold, Crime and Penalties, joins us next. We'll see you in hour 2 along with Kelly Hrudey. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Meerkats. That's what they are. That is from the Calgary Zoo. Those are the cutest darn things. They're only like 6 inches long. I would suggest that you check out the Calgary Zoo next time you're in Cowtown. That's where we're broadcasting from, the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. Coming up in hour 2, NHL great Kelly Hrudey, Calgary Flames television analyst and star of Hockey Night in Canada. Well, we have a Netflix star with us now, AJ Galante, formerly of the Danbury Trashers. He's got some new projects on the go we're going to talk about today. AJ, good afternoon, my man. How you doing?
Good. It's good to see you again. How's everything? I bet you didn't expect to see my face again. How's everything?
Your face, AJ, is always changing. You got glasses. You don't have a beard. You have a beard. Are you running from somebody, or what's the deal?
Oh no, never. You just you know what? You just got to switch it up sometimes.
Keep them guessing. That's my line. Keep them guessing. Hey, before we talk about Ice Wars and some of the exciting stuff, I got to tell you, when I was in South Florida for a spell, I just burned through the Netflix series on the Trashers, and do the Trashers still, is there a Danbury Trashers anymore, or is the team done?
The team has been gone for 16 years, and it's almost like it's become. This sounds crazy, but the team has become folklore now. It's like a movement. It's like a Trasher. Like, I have people saying like they're a Trasher. They've never played hockey before. It's become like an adjective, a movement. It's I can't even explain it to you. I never expected it to kind of blow up like this, and frankly, the logo's become like a symbol. It's the craziest thing ever. I think we're gonna get up there with Batman one day. You never know,
dude. I see it all the time. I see that logo all the time, and it's talking to you now makes me want to go back and watch the series again. To be honest with you, but you must have heard this a lot from people that after they watched it, they want more. And I guess maybe we can talk about what you got coming up next. Is it affiliated at all with the Netflix series, or in no way, shape, or form is Ice Wars affiliated with it?
Nah, no way, shape, and form. Maybe they'll get interested one day when they see what we're hoping to do, and they'll want to do something. But as of right now, no. Just another one of these random situations I get myself into, and I see great potential with it. So it's gonna be pretty funny. It's gonna be something else. I'll just put it to you that way.
Tell me all about Ice Wars as much as you can.
Well, so it's weird how life comes full circle. I mean, I remember the last season the Trashers played was, our last year was the 05-06 season. And around the All-Star break, that second season, I started hearing about, there was a promotional group up in Canada looking to do like a hockey enforcers tournament, like who's the toughest hockey enforcer, during the off season. I know a lot of the Trashers were interested. It was going to be up in Prince George, British Columbia. And we ended up losing the team in the summer, and I kind of, fell off track with everything hockey. And this event happened, 16 years ago. It was a massive success. It was you could find it on YouTube. It was called 2006 Battle of the Hockey Enforcers. Long story short, it was like boxing on ice. It was some of the toughest hockey players at the time. It was a one-night tournament. And, the winner got, a big cash prize, obviously. And, he was named, the toughest hockey enforcer at the time. So for whatever the reason, they haven't had an event since then. And my father and I were approached a few months ago by this promotional group. They'd been looking to revive it, and they just felt that maybe we were the missing link. So here we are today. I'm part of a new promotional group called Ice Wars International, and getting close to announcing our first show, and it'll be very, very soon.
Well, I remember the Prince George event, and I think the reason I'm such a big fan of yours and the Netflix series is because I'm pro fighting and hockey. I am, and I know a lot of people don't like that. I don't care. It's what I grew up with. It's what I like. That's just me. So you've got me on the edge of my seat with regards to Ice Wars. Now, producer Clark sent me some notes on your involvement with the WWE, and then your old buddy Mike Rupp, who's Trashers alum and also New Jersey Devil. Are they tied into Ice Wars, or is that something completely different?
Well, the WWE, listen, before hockey, wrestling was my first love. I thought I was going to be the next great WWF superstar one day when I was like 8. So wrestling's always been in my blood, and they just there was people involved in WWE that loved the story, and we ended up. They had an event here in Hartford, Connecticut, near Danbury, and they had kind of like a Trashers night on a Friday night SmackDown. There was like a Trasher SmackDown collaboration T-shirt. It was surreal. I haven't gotten my chance to get in the ring yet. I'm hoping one day. Hopefully, if the Trashers keeps growing one day, one of my ultimate end games with this whole thing is, I could get, suplex off the top rope or something. But I'm definitely, wrestling has been unbelievable.
Well, it's a Showtime thing. Somebody's trying to... Where are you doing the interview from, AJ? Somebody's looking in the window behind you. Somebody's trying to get... Are you in your office?
It's in my office. I got no doorknob on this office, so it's kind of free reign in here. But he saw me wave him off, so we're good.
Okay, good. So... Chris Jarl, one of our viewers, he's watching in Surrey, British Columbia, just outside Vancouver, says Danbury Trashers jerseys tripled in price since the Netflix series. I don't think he's saying that like he's angry, but maybe he is. Talk about the merchandise sales since the series, if you don't mind.
To be honest with you, I pride myself in life always trying to be prepared. And honestly, the one regret I have is not having readily available merchandise like before this doc came out, because honestly, and I mean this humbly, we didn't expect this documentary to blow up the way it has. And had we known, I would have had jerseys ready to go, because almost instantaneously, people have been just killing me for more merch, jerseys, T-shirts, hoodies, hats. And it's crazy. A lot of the old jerseys that people got back in 04, 05, 06, they're selling it on eBay. I saw a jersey, no joke. Probably it sold for like $5,000, which is unreal to me. And it was a legit jersey, I could tell. But we started coming out with some jerseys. We're working with a group called Verbero Hockey, and we did a jersey pre-sale a few months back. It did great. Hoping to do another one, but not even just hockey fans. People just seem to like this logo, a trash can with a stick. Who would have thought? It's unreal to me. People just love it, and it's honestly overwhelming to try to keep up with the demand. So hopefully we can keep streamlining this merch, and a lot of the proceeds we've been doing stuff with charities and foundations locally and stuff with it. So it's been a great experience.
Well, it's time always flies when I'm interviewing you, so we got to go, unfortunately. But I remember, obviously, the jersey, the blues colors and the thing. And like I say, I see that logo all the time now through social media and wherever. I see it on television. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what you're up to next. Good luck with everything, AJ. Thanks for the opportunity to come on. Is there anything else you'd like to pass along before we let you roll?
No, just thank you guys for having me again. We got to get you a jersey. I just wrote a note down. We got to get you guys some jerseys, and thank you for the support. The support of the Trashers, the legacy, and stay tuned for Ice Wars.
All right, buddy. Well, you know what? I would put it right over my shoulder like I got this football jersey here in Calgary. We got space for it. Let's put it that way. But Ice Wars, if I may, Ultimate Hockey Fighting Championships. Kind of what you got going on. And I'm going to spend the rest of the day remembering what went on in Prince George. What an absolute gong show that was. My God, I remember the time, but I haven't thought about it since 2006. AJ got a roll. Kelly Hrudey's coming in next, but stay in touch, my man. And again, good luck with everything.
Thank you, fellas. Have a good one.
AJ Galante, star of the Netflix series on the Danbury Trashers. And again, my term, not his, the Ultimate Hockey Fighting Championships. Coming to a screen near you, Ice Wars, as he's named it. Kelly Hrudey coming up. We're live from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital Ford for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or check out our in-stock F-150s on the lot right now. Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Really hammering that text line. And again, we're very big on the flamingos. Not too cold for them. Going to be plus 9 Celsius here in Cowtown. The flamingos, I think, will like that. I know I will. Those of us that like to stand on one leg. Hey, tomorrow is our 700th episode of the RP Show, and we're inviting you down to Grey Eagle Event Center. Doors open 9:30. DuPont's in charge of the donuts. If that's not good enough for you, we ask you to bring your own snacks. It's just going to be fantastic. We've got Rough Riders and Stampeders alumni coming down here on a Football Friday. By the way, folks, we're getting down to the deadline. March 2nd is the draw date for the Kinsman Telemiracle 50/50. And we ask you to purchase your tickets at telemiracle.com. It's a very, very important fundraiser. As you see on the screen, we're at close to $45,000 raised. Well, last year, $726,000 were raised. And you know how it goes in the province of Saskatchewan. We're last-minute folks, particularly when it comes to Kinsman. But it would help the Kinsman Foundation out a little easier on the ticker if you bought your tickets now and didn't wait until March 1st. Because you know the Kinsman Foundation is helping people every day improve their quality of life and independence through the gifts of mobility equipment and medical travel assistance. I was just talking to a guy today who's in a cancer battle and can't get out of the province for cancer surgery because of financial obligations and sitting and waiting, and the beds are taken up and blah. Kinsman helps people with that. Saves lives, literally. So what more do you need to know than that? Purchase your tickets at telemiracle.com. You just have to be 19 years of age and over and physically in the province of Saskatchewan at the time of purchase. Last minute of play in hour 1. And then Kelly Hrudey joins us next. I see a heck of a lot of CFL talk coming in from the viewers, and I will ask you to push that to tomorrow, Football Friday, because we've got, in hour 2, Kelly Hrudey joining us. Doesn't need an introduction. And also Derek Keenan, the general manager of the Saskatchewan Rush. Don in Saskatoon writes in and he says, you're not on Channel 427 Game Plus in Saskatoon today? No. Preempted on television today? Not my department. Ali Hicks in Sherwood Park. Aloha RP Show. Appreciated the alert regarding Huff. Loved the interviews with DC and Huff. Hoping Cody Fajardo can come on your show soon. Yeah, talk to the riders about that. Hour 2 coming up on YouTube Live right after this.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital GMC for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or reserve a unit that's already on its way. Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital GMC in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Are the J. Woodcroft Oilers for real? No, I don't think they're for real. 53% of respondents saying no, they're not for real, and that included me. I said no, they're not. Firing Dave Tippett is all it took. Wave a wand. Bob's your uncle, and the Oilers are now Stanley Cup contenders. I say no. This is the traditional new coach bump, the new coach spike. We see it with everybody. Hey, how's the Vancouver Canucks doing lately under Gabby?
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome, everybody, to Hour 2 of the RP Show. We're coming to you, as always, from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination. And Hour 2 is brought to you by Great Western Original 16 Beer. If you've noticed, we've moved our location a little bit. We're out of the main foyer. We're here in the guitar room. And I'll tell you what, I got to tell you who some of these guitars are signed by here. All the great acts that have come through the Grey Eagle Event Center. It's our honor. Well, two guests this hour. Derek Keenan's coming up, the general manager of the Saskatchewan Rush. Yes, Kelly, he is Mike Keenan's cousin. Derek Keenan is going to be with us from the Saskatchewan Rush because the Rush got a big NLL game coming up. And Kelly Hrudey joins us, a man who needs, frankly, no introduction. So I'm not going to give it one. You're a star, Kelly.
Yeah, right.
Hey, listen, I know you want to talk about the Flames. Of course, winners of 8 in a row. They thrashed another team last night. And we're going to get into the Calgary Flames talking stuff. But my friend, I just came back from Super Bowl in Los Angeles.
Donna mentioned that to me.
Yes.
On social media. She said, is Rod in L.A.? I was like, I think so, but I'm on a show
next week.
Thursday.
Yeah. Listen, I thought about you so much because as August 9th, 1988, stopped cheering for the Oilers, became a Flames fan. You might remember what happened. Became a Kings fan. You might remember what happened.
I think so.
Yes. I'm driving around Inglewood. I'm thinking of you. When's the last time you've been around the area?
Oh, man, it's been a long time. The Great Western Forum was renovated. I think they put like $1 billion into it. And so, I know a lot of artists really like going to that place still.
Yeah.
And so we went to a concert there. I can't remember how long ago that was. But I was looking at the new football field, and I'm thinking, that is amazing, right? And I'm not actually sure where it is in Inglewood.
It's literally right across the street from the Forum.
Oh, okay.
Right across the street.
I didn't know that.
So this is I'm telling you, I'm looking at these sunsets and the palm trees. I'm just thinking of you and the Kings and the purple haze, and it was so awesome back then, although it was black and silver, but they renovated it. Did you know that the Inglewood Forum is on Prairie Avenue?
Yes, that I remember.
I thought that was a little ironic,
right?
And I was putting photos on social media, and people are going, "The Prairie guy on Prairie Avenue." So it's quite a neighborhood, Inglewood, California.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Some areas you wouldn't want your car break down.
You have to be very careful in Inglewood.
But you played in New York. You played there in San Jose, obviously. But was that the most special time of your career?
Yeah, I kind of hesitate a little bit, Rod. The lessons I learned in New York were special. I had, guys like Clark Gillies, whom we just lost, and Brian Trottier, another guy from Saskatchewan, and Bob Bourne, and all these guys, Billy Smith, that they're great mentors to me. So as much as my time in New York, 5.5 years was special, and I have the fondest of memories. Like, listen, my very first road trip with the Islanders, Rod, so I was drafted in 1980. I go to training camp, and the reason I bring that up, back then, not all draft choices went to training camp. So
really?
Yes. Even though I was a second rounder, I went to training camp, and much to my surprise, I was on the first road trip for the first preseason game. So we're flying commercial, of course. We're flying to Chicago, and I'm in a middle seat just like this. And to my right is Mike Bossy, and to my left is Brian Trottier. Now
this is a heyday.
This is a heyday. They just won their first Stanley Cup.
Right.
So I'm a 19-year-old kid, and I'm thinking, my gosh, this is the greatest trip of my life, right? Right? That's like a 2.5-hour flight, and I most likely didn't say a single word. But I remember looking at Mike Bossy because he had like a golf shirt on. And if you see Mike in his uniform, he looks kind of slight, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe slim. And he was ripped. He was 205 pounds of pure muscle. So he had these arms that I'd never seen before. And I remember like this, and I kind of looked.
You don't see that in junior.
Right.
Generally.
Right. Yeah. And so I have many memories of those fantastic years in New York. But to transition to what you asked, yes, LA was a special place for us. And, you know, I went from being a guy that played alongside Billy Smith, although the Easter Epic kind of put me in a different category. But then now I'm all on my own for the most part as a number one, and it's a different animal, playing on maybe not the best team in the world, but the most popular team in the world with Wayne. And so that was a fantastic experience, and the whole LA thing was really cool. You know, the people that you'd meet, run into, be introduced to. Wayne broke so many records when we were there, so we'd go to these parties after the game in Beverly Hills and meet all these people. So that was amazing. But just the life experience. We lived literally 5 minutes from the beach. So our kids grew up knowing the beach, knowing Disneyland, and you know, it was just a fantastic experience for us to go through. By the way, we always knew we were retiring back here in Calgary.
Was that right, huh?
Yes, we always knew we were coming back to Canada. And so we wanted to live by the beach because what an experience, right? You know, you can live inland anywhere. And LA has a lot of great places inland, but nothing like the beach.
I knew that you would not have thought you were going to come down today and be asked about these stories, so I hope I'm not catching you off guard.
Like
right? Well, it's good. Here's the other thing. Retro's cool, Kelly, and so I've gotten to be really good friends with Ron Duguay. I hope that's okay.
Cool.
But Duguay's
Ron, for sure.
How can you not?
Right?
Everybody who knows him. And then another one is with this Bet Regal partnership that we have. They're the exclusive betting partner of the CFL, but they're our exclusive betting partner. They've brought me on and Bernie Nichols as ambassadors.
Oh, for sure.
All I know is Bernie is a 50-goal scorer. I don't know anything about him until we started working together with Bet Regal.
70-goal scorer.
70-goal scorer. My bad.
Can you imagine that?
No.
Can I just
Nobody does it now.
Yeah, can I just share Bernie's story?
Please do.
So just 2 nights ago in our broadcast, we had to pick a trade that sort of impacted ourselves in our career. And so I chose that trade, Bernie to New York, and coming back was Tomas Sandstrom and Tony Granato. Now, the reason I bring that up, we were shocked, right? This is my first full season with LA, and Bernie the previous year had scored 70 goals. This year, at the 47-game mark, he had 75 points. And I remember it was right after the trade or All-Star weekend, and I'm like, what? We traded Bernie Nichols? And, you know, we got 2 incredible players back. But that's also the harsh part of this business, right? Bernie and I really enjoyed each other. Great teammate, great player. Had no idea he could ever be traded. And then Thomas and Tony come back, and I became fantastic friends with them.
And you were a good team.
Guys, right? So we were a great team with those guys.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Bernie
then Ron Duguay, come on. Most handsome guy in the history of the game, right?
How about that? Well, this happened last week when I was at Super Bowl. Literally somewhere a headline came out, Ron Duguay confirms he's dating Sarah Palin.
I saw that.
Not surprised whatsoever, and I'm excited to talk to him about that. There's a million questions coming in from the viewers, and And I will get to those. For instance, Jack Fulton writes in from Vulcan, Alberta. Love everything about Kelly. Look forward to meeting him one day. Kelly's message needs to be heard. We'll come around on that next segment if that's cool.
Sure.
Yeah, we all know what Jack's referring to, but probably a lot of people don't. John in Winnipeg, love your take on the NHL, Kelly. Please tell us a funny story when you played for the Kings, i.e. Wayne. Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that. But with Bernie, something about the Leafs, man. Darren DuPont, the co-host here, Leaf fan. Producer Clark, Leaf fan. And they're young. I don't understand why anybody born after 1967 would be Leafs fans. I'm sorry, I don't. Why would you? I'm being serious. And
I have a lot of family members that are Leaf fans.
From here?
Well, yeah.
Albertans?
Alberta, yeah.
Older or younger?
No, surprisingly younger.
Well, here's my point. When Bernie was on the show, all he did was rip the Leafs. Bernie Nichols, he's living in the Toronto area. And I said, why do you care? He goes, I grew up a Leaf fan. Once a Leaf fan, always a Leaf fan. But I said, you made your name with the Rangers and Kings. He's like, I don't care. And you know Bernie well enough that wouldn't surprise you probably.
Yeah.
Honest as the day is long and just let you know what he's thinking.
Yeah. Carefree too, right? That's what I love about Bernie. He lives his life and he's content. Love it.
I only have one more selfish personal question for you, then I'll turn it over to the viewers because they're just going nuts here. You just skimmed over the fact that you'd worked one of the last times we talked with Tony Robbins in the early 93 playoff run.
92-93,
right,
that season.
And what people don't understand, and with the mental health realm, is it's all transferable to all walks of life. The concepts are the same.
Yeah, that's right.
But you blew my socks off when you said Tony Robbins had helped you get back in the crease. What were the core concepts of what he helped you with?
Believing in myself again. And, I'm pretty honest about what I've gone through. And, recently, today I'm still struggling. I went through a thing starting back in the summer of 2019, and I'm still dealing with this. But back in 92, 93, in the summer of 92, going into that season, Rod, I was, going into my 10th season, I believe. I think the numbers are accurate that most careers are about 3 years.
Yeah.
So Dawn and I had 2 children at that time, and she's pregnant with our third. So these rational thoughts that I had in the summer were how much longer can you keep doing this? How are you going to keep paying the bills? All these things those are normal questions to me, right? To anybody in any walk of life, right? And then, unfortunately for me, when the season started, actually it started in training camp, those thoughts became louder, and they went from rational to irrational. You can't keep doing this. You're fooling people. You're not this good anymore. And so they became very irrational, and they became constant, and I didn't have the tools at that time to break that loop. I learned about the loop from Caitlin, her story, and she taught us about the loop and a million other things about mental health. But and so my coach, Barry Melrose, another Saskatchewan boy.
Kelvington.
Yep. And amazing. When you think back, and I could probably tear up right now, but you think back that 1992, 93, there was no discussion about mental health, no discussion in particular in sports, and men talking about what we're dealing with or feeling or anything. And Barry knew it wasn't about what I was doing on the ice. He knew that it was mental. And so he knew Tony Robbins. And so one day I'm sitting in the dressing room in January now. It's now 1993, January 17th, I believe. Important day in my life. And it's an afternoon game. I'm not playing because I'm lousy. And Rob Stauber's playing. And
good goalie.
Very good goalie.
Yeah.
And about 2 hours before the game, I'm doing my usual. I'm drinking my coffee like I am right now and taping my sticks. And in walks Barry Melrose, and followed closely behind is Tony Robbins. And I'm thinking...
Huge, eh?
Right? He's a huge man.
Yeah.
6'9". And so they walk in, and I'm thinking, well, first of all, when you play on a team with Wayne Gretzky, there's celebrities in the dressing room after every game. And on occasion, there's celebrities before the game. So it wasn't entirely unusual. And so they go into Barry's room, the door closes. Seconds later, the door opens, and Barry motions me over. And this is, Rod, how bad I was thinking about myself. I go, why in the world would Tony Robbins want to meet the worst goalie in the league? So it's pretty hard to stop a puck in the National Hockey League when you're thinking that about yourself, right? So we get in there and Barry makes the introductions. And what I thought was really cool, Barry says to me, he asked if I'd be willing to work with Tony. And of course I was. And I also thought, man, this is cool. My coach really cares about me. So then Barry says, would you mind if I sat in while you guys are talking? I thought, no, of course not. You're perfectly fine. If you're that interested in getting to know me and you're starting goalie, fine. I'll lay it all on the line. I didn't like where I was, right? And so I still remember this, and this is so cool. I'm sitting in a chair like this. So I'm sitting in a chair, and then we start the session, and Tony stands up, and it's on purpose. I got it. I understand you position of power. I know
exactly
what you're doing.
You're not that big. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's 6'9". I remember I was just like this the whole time looking up, and then we talked about me and what I was thinking, what I was going through. And so my messaging that my brain was giving me after I'd give up a goal was I kept shrinking. I kept shrinking and shrinking and shrinking in my own mind, right? I wasn't strong enough mentally to overcome what my thoughts were. But so within one session, he changed all that. And so we started going in the right direction. One of the things he said to me, he asked me a question is, when you feel really good about yourself and you feel great,
what are you thinking?
Who do you feel like in the world? And the Gulf War, I think, had just ended or was coming to a close. And I remember watching on TV General Norman Schwarzkopf and Rod. A stud. He was a general, as the name would suggest. I was captivated. Every time he was on TV, he looked so in control, right? He wasn't slouched over. His chin was up. He gave you the goods. And I was like, that's what I feel like. So, we worked on a few other things, of course, but I had an index card. I laminated an index card, and I carried it with me the next 5 years. I'm carrying one now today for different reasons. And number one thing, bulletin point, Schwarzkopf. And I would look at it before every game, between every period before I went in the ice, and that's who I believed I was, a general.
Isn't that amazing?
That's how I kind of have to be again right now.
Yeah, of course. Well, because it never leaves you.
It doesn't leave you. I was hoping it would.
It doesn't.
2019 surprised me.
Yeah, sorry to tell you, it doesn't leave you.
Well, I know that. I'm aware of that.
We will talk about these Flames when we come back, but I really appreciate you, Kelly, sharing that. Yeah. And
we're all in this together, right?
Absolutely. Right? We will turn it over to the viewers when we come back. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital Ford for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or check out our in-stock F-150s on the lot right now. Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
A live look in at the Calgary Zoo. These guys really sticking their necks out. Right in the same shop, the hippos and the giraffes. I say that line every day. The size of those hippos, it still shocks me. Kelly Hrudey's with us, and we'll get to the hockey talk, although I feel like we have been talking hockey. But from the viewers, Alex Campbell watching says, fascinating interview with Kelly. Is a true ambassador to people with mental health issues. Keep up the great work. Phyllis in Winnipeg, please thank Kelly. Always appreciated his play during his career and like him every bit as much as a broadcaster. From John Ohm in Winnipeg. How can you not like this guy? Keeping it honest, keeping it real. Wow. From Jennifer at the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Kelly, rock star of the day. From Ryan H.
Holy.
I know, right? From Ryan H. on YouTube. Thanks for sharing that story, Kelly Hrudey. Fascinating interview. Can't wait to hear more. From Wayne watching Victoria, BC. I love the honesty and bravery of Kelly to let people know his struggles in life. Even an all-star NHL goalie can have mental health issues. Isn't that something?
That's amazing. I love it. I love this conversation that we're having because it's real. So people are sharing, and I go on social media and I share what I'm going through. But Caitlin's the rock star. She's the one that got me down this path to share, right? So she was brave enough in 2013 to start sharing her story, and the National Post and Canadian Press did stories on her. And I was afraid, Rod, the night before these stories were going to go out. I was in St. Louis doing a playoff game, and I started worry. I thought, social media can be a mean place. Back then, social media wasn't quite what it was or what it is today. And I was so pleasantly surprised that she found only support and love on social media. Now, I hope we can find more of that again, because it's a pretty wicked place to be at times. But when we're talking about mental health, and so many people are sharing their stories now, which is great, because that's what we need to do. We need to be loud and continue to share our stories so that the government, whether it's federal, provincial, or municipal, continues to provide the funds for people, because it's not fair, it's not right that people are in the queue for 6 months or more.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally wrong. People need to get the help they need.
They tell me, Kelly, that people like you sharing your stories, public people, is making a difference. That's what I hear out there. And they say in the 90s, when people from the LGBT community came out and said, I'm gay, and they, like 25 years ago, it really opened the door. And now, hopefully, this is the movement for those of us in recovery, mental health stuff, that it's okay.
I like
right?
that.
Right. I heard that.
Now, that's almost sad that community, that was in the 90s, though, and that, they've only been probably feeling supported in the last, 5 years or something?
And they still face, discrimination, of course.
That's wrong, but...
Michael Wynn's watching in Winnipeg. He says, did you eat McDonald's with Wayne across from the Forum, Kelly? Why would he ask that?
Maybe because he ran into us.
Yeah.
I've shared many meals with Wayne. I could have been in a McDonald's. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Tacona Pally. Here's a good one. Tacona in Winnipeg. Kelly, why did you prefer the Jofa cage over the HM30?
Oh, man, there was no particular reason. The Jofa cage, it had the spacing was just right in my mind. So Bernie Perrant lost his career because he got a stick in the eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he was my idol, and I wanted to make sure that with any cage that I ever wore, that there is no possibility that a stick could get through. And that's it.
Protection. That was it. So you would never wear a cat's eye?
Never. And that was, that was number one rule to me. Be safe. And, I had more bars for sure, but you get used to it. And that was the thing for me. I always admired Bernie so much. And he wasn't wearing a cage, of course. He was wearing that regular mask, the mask that I think Jacques Plante came up with. But for me, it was most important. I've got a family to feed, and I can't do something that might be, in my mind anyways, perceived as reckless.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because Jeff in Winnipeg, I miss Kelly's classic cage. There weren't a lot of guys wearing them, but what's funny is I had one of those. I also had what Beezer was wearing on the XK 2000. I think I had what everybody was wearing. But it's interesting when the fiberglass masks came out. Can you believe how heavy they were? Remember, how did you hold your head up?
Yes. So there's a couple of stories there. So when I first started getting that fiberglass mask, it was when I was growing up in Elmwood, in a community in Edmonton. And I remember, first of all, it was amazing that I was able to get this mask. I was a teenager.
It was so cool.
So cool, right? And I wore it for my first 2 years in junior in Medicine Hat. And then when I went to the cage, again, because of Bernie Perrant's injury, then when I was back in New York Islanders, do you remember Greg Harrison, the mask maker?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
legend.
Legend. So we've in fact reconnected. So he made me a mask that I wore about 5 or 6 times. It was what the current goalies have, exactly what you have right behind you. But back then in the late 80s, it was super heavy, and I was like, I get it. I understand this is new technology and this is where we're going, but this is way too heavy. So I shared that story with him. He thought I chose not to wear after that for different reasons, but and then when I found the materials to be as protective as I thought they needed to be and lighter, that's when I went to the mask, that Hollywood mask that I wore.
Which was really cool too.
That was really cool. I remember, Rod, that mask, that design was, we came up with it. I live about 10 minutes away from here, right? And we were sitting, I had a friend in LA by the name of Lenny Davis that did some business with us, and we came up with this concept. I remember sitting at our kitchen table, and we're thinking about the design of the mask. And I loved Mike Richter's Statue of Liberty, because what does everybody think of when they think of New York City? Statue of Liberty, right? And it was a really simple design, but it stood out. And I thought, well, of course, Hollywood. And so Don Strauss, the maker of that mask, he came up with,
you had the film on it.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing, right?
Yeah.
So,
why do I remember this? It's been a long time.
It's been a long time, but
things that stick in your mind. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says Hrudey and Don Edwards are the only ones I can think of that wore the Jofa. But I want to say Reggie Lemelin might have. Did Reggie ever? Maybe that was the old SK600.
Yeah. But Don Edwards for sure. Archer Zerbe.
Archer's old Sharks great and Stars
same
great.
thing.
Ryland Spencer's watching in Seattle, and he's had a few questions for you. One is, did you ever play in the Mercer Arena?
Oh, yeah.
You did? In the W would have. The Rock and Roll Arena?
Yeah.
And he also says, what do you think of the new arena in Seattle?
Oh, my gosh. I was just there. I was there at the end of December, and I was blown away how beautiful it is. It's just, they've done an amazing job, and I'm speechless to how beautiful it is for a number of different reasons. It was really cool to be there. And Seattle happens to be a great city. So,
isn't it? Mm-hmm. I remember going into I still call it the Rock and Roll Arena where the Thunderbirds played, and Dennis Bayak was giving me a tour. He was the GM of the Thunderbirds.
Oh,
and
yeah, that's right.
There was like 12 cops, and they were big dudes, all having a pre-game meeting.
Okay.
And I'm like, what do we need these guys for?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they here? It was my first time there.
Okay.
Brendan Witt was playing for the Seattle. If that gives you an idea of the timeline.
Yeah.
And then the game started, and I'm like, thank God these cops are here. It's insane in that place.
Rowdy. Oh, I know, right? There's so many buildings like that I remember. Like when we were with the Tigers and we'd go into Lethbridge, it was that was an all out.
One of the biggest underrated rivalries is Lethbridge Medicine Hat.
Yeah,
Tigers,
right.
Hurricanes. Or with Broncos then, I guess, right?
That's right. But I remember, I'm going to go talk about Dennis Bayak for a minute. Do you know he's a really good golfer?
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, so Ken Holland has this golf tournament with a lot of his friends at Predator Ridge just outside Vernon. In fact, that's the hat I'm wearing. And so Dennis is invited. You have to be something like a 9 handicap or less to play, and it's big money. And so every summer I'd see Dennis prior to the pandemic, and I was always like, holy cow, like, you've got to be a good golfer, and you can't crumble under that pressure, right? Because that's my golf game. I crumble all the time. So I'm playing with AJ Ethorn and my wife, my lovely wife that you know, Donna.
Yeah.
So the three of us are playing this a few years ago, and I'm on the 18th tee box, and my score is 74. And if I get par on the last hole, because it's par 4, I tie my all-time lowest record at 78. I shot a 10.
Because you were thinking about it.
Totally. And AJ's just like, it's just a number. Like, why'd you get all nervous? And I was like, because that's how my brain works.
Yep.
You don't get it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's unbelievable that you overcame all of that to have the success that you did as a player. Because it transfers to that. I've read, do you know Gary Mack? Famous sports psychologist. He's out of Phoenix.
Okay, I've heard the name.
His book's called Mind Gym.
Okay.
And he's worked with golfers. He's worked with kickers. He's worked with goalies because, again, it's all the same.
Very much. Sure.
Right. And he says a 4-foot putt is the same as a 40-foot putt in your head, but because 4 foot you're supposed to make it and 40 feet you're not.
Right.
The pressure is so different.
Yeah. It's funny, now that we're on to golf a little bit, I played in Wayne Gretzky's inaugural nationwide tournament in Toronto a number of years ago. And I remember Wayne, we're talking on the phone, he goes, Kelly, you'll never be more nervous for a 4-foot putt. And I'm like, no, Wayne, you don't know my game. I'll never be more nervous on a tee box because I might kill somebody.
Right. People watching. And
right. If I snap hook this drive and there's somebody 30 yards over here, I could literally kill them or hurt them. And so I've always thought about that. That's my most nervous on a golf course, the tee box. Because it's not consistent, right? So it can go anywhere.
Well, if you got to 74 through 17 holes, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, that was on Predator, too. That's the harder of the two courses, people say.
Wow.
And so I was playing quite well at that point. Not so much anymore.
Well, you got to do it. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, and you have to practice, right?
Right.
And I don't practice.
I got the viewer comments. There are more, but we have to, your story. People wanted to know what your message is with mental health.
Well, I have a number of them. First of all, don't do it alone. It's too lonely and it's too painful. I kind of did that, Rod. I said when summer of 2019, when I knew these thoughts were coming back, similar to the summer of 92. And I was kind of hoping I could do it by myself and get through it. And I was kind of hoping that there might be times where the thoughts would be a little bit more rational, and as the season went on, they became more irrational. I wish, because I did share that with Donna and my kids, I wish I would have went to get the help I needed sooner. And then I was going weekly for months. And so that's been a game changer. And still, for me, I have to stay on top of it because for all of us, I think I can relate to a lot of people when I say we all have these rational thoughts that are real, but when they turn irrational and you understand that, share that with somebody because it's an important thing to do so that you're not doing this and you're not suffering alone because it's really hard. And for me, it became harder because then I was on the road. And so the thoughts were just with
rampant.
Me, right? Oh yeah. They were going. And so then I recognized I better go see somebody. And I continue to do so. In fact, I'll be very honest, I need to go back now because I'm in that same
questioning yourself and stuff. Yeah.
That and it's the oddest thing. So there's my brain wants to tell me that I can't do Saturday nights anymore, and yet I need to, and I can, and when I get through it, it's quite easy.
Yeah.
Right.
It's that buildup, right? And the anxiety.
The buildup, and so. For me, I just have to make sure that one of my bosses, I posted something on social media about a year ago, and that I wasn't doing well. My wife and I were out walking just over by West Hills, and I posted this picture that about getting help. And my boss saw it, and he called me and he goes, "Oh, Kelly, so sorry. Do you need time off?" And I wanted to say yes, but I knew that that's my brain would win then, right? Because that's what it's telling me, and I can't do that. I can't take time off. I need to confront those thoughts, and I'll win. It's a win for me. So that's that's kind of how my brain works and what I'm going through.
Man, I couldn't agree more. Oh, how do we get out of time already? And Derek Keenan's line. But the thing is, we're not young men. So for all the young people out there, right? I wish if we knew then what we know now.
Right.
So pass it along. Community, don't isolate.
Yeah.
Right. Use your teammates and reach out.
Yeah.
And we never even talked about the Flame.
We'll
next
be back
time. Right. Exactly. Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate you, man.
Rod.
The best.
Great seeing you again.
As always, thank you, Kelly. Kelly Hrudey, hero of mine. Derek Keenan coming up, the general manager of the Saskatchewan Rush NLL team, and the Moose will be back as well. We're live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital GMC for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or reserve a unit that's already on its way. Get into a GM certified pre-owned vehicle that's on our lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital GMC in Regina.
Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics, Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Back live from Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary's entertainment destination, for sure from the gaming aspect. But Friday night will be in the Saddle Dome. The Roughnecks are home to the Vancouver Warriors. I can't wait. It'll be my first Calgary home game here. And on Sunday, the Saskatchewan Rush visit the Colorado Mammoth. And we're excited to join the general manager of the Rush, Derek Keenan, to talk about that game and the season so far for the Saskatchewan Rush. And Mr. Keenan, good to see you as always, sir. I got to ask you, I'm going to open it up with this. Is this Colorado-Saskatchewan rivalry still the Rush's number one rivalry? Because it was white hot there for a while. Or is Calgary number one right now for the Saskatchewan Rush in your mind?
Oh, I always think it's Calgary. It's pretty good with Colorado too, but Calgary's been our number one for a long time.
Yeah, and I love it. Saskatchewan, Calgary, it's got to be in before that Edmonton. I mean, I certainly get it. Before I talk to you about Sunday's game, let's talk about the season for the Saskatchewan Rush. You're coming off a victory over Panther City, but you're a little lower in the West standings than you're used to seeing, Derek, or you would like. What would be your synopsis of this 2-5 campaign so far?
Yeah. I mean, we've got as many losses in a season already that we're accustomed to having in a complete season. So it's certainly not meeting our expectations. What I've seen, and there's been a lot of work done this week from our players, our leadership group, our coaching staff, myself, to try and get to the bottom of it. And I think that it really comes down to the offensive end. In review of our 7 games, I think that's 28 quarters of lacrosse. I think our defense has maybe had one not so good quarter. That was the second quarter in Vancouver last week. But that was probably as a result of kind of chasing it a little bit because we weren't really getting much done on the other end. So defensively, we've been outstanding. Our goaltending has been good enough, I think. But on the offensive end, we just have not been where we need to be. And that's the simple answer as to how we get there. It's going to be up to the players. I mean, I think a lot of it is hunger. I don't see the typical drive that I've seen from that group in the past. And yeah, we have new guys, and there's some growing pains there, but we still have some leaders that need to perform like I'm accustomed to seeing and our fans are.
Well, you wouldn't have had the Hall of Fame career without being positive and obviously knowing this game. I mean, I would look at it and go, COVID fatigue? You guys hadn't played for 2 years, yet San Diego's 6-1 and Colorado's 5-2. So my guess is you're not letting anybody off the hook with that.
Not at all, no. And most of the guys have played, to some degree. Our fitness coming into camp was really good. So that's just, you can't use that as an excuse. The scheduling has been difficult. We've had a lot of weekends off, and when you're trying to get rolling, I thought we actually played quite well against San Diego when we lost at home, and then we had another week off. Then we got it kind of going against Panther City, and then we had another week off, and you could really tell the difference last week in a team in Vancouver who had played the week before, and they were just sharper. We were fumbling balls, and and that can happen, but although we're used to bye weeks too, they happen. I mean, it used to be that you played, a 16 or 18 game schedule between January and April, then you were in the playoffs. Well, now things are stretched out a lot longer, starting in early December, and an 18-week season turns into 24 weeks. So there's going to be those buys, and you have to learn how to deal with them better. But this is our time right now. We need to, or get off the pot, because big game in Colorado, then we got them back home. A sweep would be awesome for us. A split would be okay. The other way around, then we're in big trouble. That's halfway through the season, with only 2 wins. So we need to get it going starting this weekend on Sunday afternoon in Denver.
A sweep would put you right in the thick of things. And unless I've missed something, what I respect is that you guys have not gone through knee-jerk transactions here with your club. I feel like the group you have is the group you have. You went into the season with them. You clearly believe in them. Derek, am I right in that? I mean, there is, I believe, a trade deadline coming up. You could make changes, but it seems like you're trying to get out of this together rather than make a bunch of changes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've made a few little tweaks from within, which is really what we want to do. We think we like our young guys. We like our couple guys in our practice roster. We liked what Austin Murphy brought a couple weeks ago. Then he wasn't available last week, so we'll get him back in. I look at a guy like Josh Curry, who we acquired in a trade last year. He struggled, but he's actually played really well. Like last week in Vancouver, probably was our best offensive player, but hit four pipes. Like a guy that plays as hard as he does and does the right things, balls are going to start dropping for him. So, we're going to stick with the group for now, and we have a good mix now of veteran and young guys. We still have strong leadership at both ends, and we still think we can compete this year for a championship, but we got to get on track. And we still think our future is very bright too, with a couple kids we drafted this past draft who are back in school this year, and we really liked what we've seen out of our 2 picks from last year who didn't play. Bobby Kidd and Connor McClellan have been really good out the back end. Paulus, we've been, he's a bit more of a project because he's a younger guy. He still had junior eligibility when we drafted him, so he's going to take a little bit more time, but his skill set is off the chart, so he'll get there at some point. But right now we're in a situation where we need to go with a little bit more of an experienced group on offense and see where that takes us right now.
These staying interviews are going so fast today. Kelly Hrudey before you, and now yourself. I got so many questions. I got to ask you how a guy by the name of Ryan Keenan's doing. I have a Keenan Rush jersey hanging in my closet, and I don't know if I've ever talked to you about this. I love that story of when you took him number 1 overall, and you didn't really want to because he's your kid, and didn't the number 2 team say, if you don't take him, we will, so take him, Derek. How's he doing?
You know what? He's a bit of a microcosm of our whole group. He's struggling to score, which is not typical of him. He's always been a high percentage scorer with not taking a lot of shots. He's always been 20+%. I think he's at 6% maybe, which is not like him. It's just a lot of it unlucky. and contributing with assists in that, but we need him to score goals. So he's well aware of that. Of course, we talk all the time, even though he's living out in LA now for a bit. He's an accountable kid, and he realizes he has to be better. And he also realizes too, what I think really came to fruition this week, just through a lot of film study from our offensive group, that we just aren't doing the little fundamental things well enough and consistent enough and hard enough. And that's that hunger that I'm talking about. And he's included in that group. I've said this a few times this week, especially with kind of leadership calls. And our group, they've had a lot of success. They've won a lot. We don't have a lot of losing seasons. We've won championships, and sometimes it's hard to be hungry when you're full, and they need to empty their belly out a little bit, I think, and get hungry again.
Well, you better watch out. He might be asking for a trade to San Diego or Vegas. He's going to fall in love with the West Coast. Is there any chance of that happening?
No, I think it's temporary out there.
Okay, I got you. All right, I just came back from there. I get it. I always want to say coach. I guess I won't. Derek, thanks for this. We'll be at the next game against Colorado. Thanks for the visit as always, and good luck. Hope to see you there.
Okay. You bet. Thanks, Rod.
General Manager of the Saskatchewan Rush, a living and breathing Hall of Famer, Derek Keenan. Overtime is next, as the Moose will join us to recap a outstanding show. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
A new year means a new you. Pick up a new ride to match at Capital Ford for 2022. Custom order the perfect vehicle for you, or check out our in-stock F-150s on the lot right now. Get into a pre-owned vehicle that's already on the lot and ready to roll. We need your used vehicle too. We pay big, and you don't even have to buy from us. Plus, our service department is always here to help. Get special pricing on name brand tires, tire storage, maintenance, and more. And we always offer free vehicle pickup and delivery. Start the new year right at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at Flame Tech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Text 902-518-3033. 902-518-3033. Pick up your phone and text RP, that's Rod Pedersen. Text 902-518-3033.
Okay, here we go. I can't wait to get down to the zoo and get some new shots. You see that, Moose? Look at that. Your friends.
They're not plastic.
No, they're real. +9 Celsius here today in the gateway to the foothills. Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. You've been running around, Moose, taking photos, and I really appreciate you taking the photos of with the guests here, and sometimes you jump in them. More so L.A., because you're the La La Land guy, the Tinseltown guy. Kelly Hrudey covers both.
He does.
Right?
He really does.
So I said before we broke, and our friend here, Lee, is here, I said before we break, the last break that you would come here to help recap an outstanding show. And Wayne and Victoria says, absolutely agree, Rod. This was an awesome show, and Kelly Hrudey was fantastic. And just a guy to be in awe of, to be honest. John in Winnipeg, John Ohm, says 700th show Friday. We haven't talked about it enough. Are you ready for it? Here tomorrow. Live studio audience here at Grey Eagle.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So we'll get everything moved back over into the big area where we're going to be able to hopefully have some people down. So we're going to open the doors at 9:30. Again, make sure you're here. I said I'd go buy donuts, so you're going to get set up. I'll go buy the donuts, and we'll be back here for a good show tomorrow.
We will have some Riders and Stamps alumni down here on a Football Friday, and I understand everybody was writing in today. They had a lot of CFL comments that they wanted to talk about, but we have to save that for Friday, especially when Kelly Hrudey's in the house. By the way, we should mention his wife is a good Saskatchewan gal, Rudes.
Oh, yeah.
She's from Cornack. We ask you to support Kinsman Telemiracle. The draw is coming up on March the 2nd. Another great Saskatchewan tradition. Kinsman Foundation is helping people every day with the gifts of mobility equipment, medical travel assistance, but they can only do it through your support through this lottery. $726,000 were raised last year. You see the total on the screen. We got a long ways to go. If you haven't purchased your tickets yet, do it now. As soon as we get off the air here today, tickets can only be bought by people physically in Saskatchewan and over the age of 19. Those are the only stipulations. Put your credit card down, all kinds of ticket buying options. Darren and I already have. Telemiracle.com, the Kinsman Foundation, helping people every day. We're pleased to be part of it and help assist them, but now you need to do your part. There we go.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to say who the rock star of the day is for Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions. Sorry, Derek Keenan, but it's Kelly Hrudey.
Yeah.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions, they specialize in improving your company's performance and bottom line through supply chain management services. I asked Derek how this one player of his was doing, Darren, a kid on the team by the name of Ryan Keenan. You were running around. You didn't hear his answer, did you?
No, I didn't.
He's hanging out in L.A. now. Ryan Keenan, the forward on the rush, Derek's son. And he goes, he's struggling like all our team. He's a microcosm of the team. You asked how Keenan was. I said, he's going to tell you how it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's what, and I like guys like that.
Yeah.
And I said, you better watch out. He's going to ask for a trade to San Diego or something.
Right.
He's like, no, it's just a temporary visit to L.A. And I'm like, that's what you think.
That's what I thought when I went down there last week.
It's just a visit. You didn't want to leave.
I know exactly.
I was coming back from San Diego and I called Moose. He was in L.A. And you said, how is it down there? And I said, down here makes where you're look like a crap hole. San Diego's, when you say, so beautiful. He's just, Lee doesn't know whether to agree or not. San Diego's beautiful. And their team's 6-1, by the way, atop the West Conference.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I know.
I think in lacrosse, you can really have a quick turnaround.
Yeah, and
it seems to be.
They've got their feet under them now, right? They came in with Philadelphia, and I think New York was part of that too, in the expansion. And it's not quite the same. They've had a year, right, to get acclimatized to the NLL, and they've got a really good team now.
Roughnecks home to Vancouver Friday night. We'll be there. Rush at Colorado Sunday, and then next weekend the Rush are home to Colorado, and we'll be there. Ryland's watching in Seattle. He says, Hrudey is one of my all-time favorite guests you've had. Thank you, Ryland. From Tacona Pally in Winnipeg, he says, Rod, what were your go-to pads? I use DNR, Large 55, and Vaughn Legacy. Here's a story. I think I've told you this. The very brief time I was with the Brandon Wheat Kings, Cooper sent a pair of white leather pads for Trevor Kidd. Not me. Trevor and I are the same age, though. And Kidder didn't like them. Because I didn't order these. I want the Durasoft. You 80s goalies would remember that. Do you remember Cooper Durasoft? Did that mean anything to you?
No.
It was a light tan.
Okay.
He didn't want the white. So he was like, you want these? I'm like, yeah, I'll take them. White leather. I like anything that's free. If I had my way, it would have been Vaughn, but they gave them to me.
I wish you still had them.
The white?
Yeah.
I sold them to a buddy at Carm's because I was done. I was done playing goal.
I think they'd look good right behind you in the set. That's why.
Those pads would be as tall as you. I'm telling you. And I had the Chris Osgood mask.
Yeah.
Sold that too. And then I contacted the guy, and Carmen lost his number. I wanted to buy it all back.
Yeah, it'd be great in the set.
Football Friday tomorrow, Big Party 700 show. Thanks, Moose.
Thank you.
See you at noon Eastern on Game Plus. Because I thought I was going to see Cyndi Lauper. And then I get there, and she's nowhere to be found.
You just got duped.
I got duped.
Yeah.
Hey, who wants to get duped by Dupe?
Spicy. LFG.